The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Siriya Boonlert. Chapter 24. The picnic hung on the track. The first thing Tom heard on Friday morning was a great piece of news that the family had come back to town. He saw Becky with a crowd of their schoolmates, and his delight was boundless when she told him that her mother had appointed the next day for the long-delayed picnic. Invitations were sent out before sunset. Tom had hoped of hearing Huck's mew and of astonishing Becky and the picnickers with the teachers the next day, but no signal came. By 10 o'clock the next morning, a gay company had gathered at the dasher, and everything was ready for a start. The children were put in a charge of a few young teachers of the Sunday school. The ferry boat had been hired for occasions. Soon the joyful crowd carrying baskets of food hurried up the main street. The last thing Mrs. Dasher said to Becky was, "You will not get back till late, child. Perhaps you better stay all night with some of the girls who live near the ferry landing. Then I will stay with Susie. Perhaps Mamma," said Becky, as Tom and Becky hurried along. Tom said, "I say I will tell you what we will do. Instead of going to Mrs. Harper, we climb right up the hill and stay at window. She have lovely cakes, and she be so glad to have us." "But what will Mamma say?" said Becky hesitatingly. However, the window, the grass, a kind heart, and Tom's persuasions triumphed Becky, and it was decided to say nothing to anybody about their new programming. Soon it occurred to Tom that Huck might give the signal disc every night, but the signal did not come the night before, so why should it be any more likely to come tonight? He determined not to allow himself to think of the box of money another time that day. 3 miles below the town, the ferry boat was tied up at the mouth of a little wood. Boonlert. The crowd swarmed. A short games were arranged, and soon the forest echoed far and wide with shouting and laughter. Then came the demonstrations of the good things in their baskets. After the feast, there was a refreshing rest and talk in the chase. Presently, somebody shouted, "Who's ready for the cave?" Everybody was bundles of candles were produced, and at once everyone began to climb up the hill. The mouth of the cave was high up the hillside. Its massive door stood unbarred. Inside was a small chamber, as cold as an ice chest, and warmed by nature with So limestone candles were lit and the children made their way down the steep descent of the main path, which was not more than 8 or 10 feet wide. The candlelight dimly revealed the arched roof overhead. Every few steps, outer narrower passes, branches off on either hand, for the cave contained a very great number of twisting passes. No one knew the end of it. Most of the young men of the village knew a small part of it, and it was not customary to go beyond this. The processions moved along the main avenue for about 3/4 of a mile, and then children began to slip aside into branch places and pray, hide and seek. Talking is uttered by surprise where the places join again. Finally, one group after another came wandering back, big breathless, covered with clay and candle dripping from head to foot, and entirely delighted with the success of the day. They were astonished to find that the sun had set. The bell had been calling for half an hour when the ferry boat with her merry passenger pushed into the river. Nobody cared as to for the was time, but the captain Huck was already watching when the ferry boat lights went glittering past. He heard no noise on board, for the children were as quiet as people who are tried out usually are. The night was growing cloudy and dark. Elephant, Oak came and the inn lights were put out. Huck waited a very long time, but nothing happened. Why not give it up and go to bed? A noise raised his ears. He sprang into a doorway the next moment. Two men brushed by him, and one seemed to have something under his arm. It must be that box. So they were going to remove the teacher. Should he call Tom now? No, that would be silly. The man would get away and never be found again. He must follow. They walked a short distance up the street, running to the river and turned to the left up and crossed the street. Then they went straight ahead until they came to the path that led up Cardiff Hill. This they took. Halfway up the hill they passed the house of the old Welshman, Mr. Jones, and still clambered upward among the tall bushes. Huck shortened his distance now, for they would never be able to see him, and hurried on for a time and then slowed down. Very that he was getting too near them, he stopped and listened. He was about to spring on when a man cleared his throat not 4 feet from him. Huck heard shot into his mouth, but he swallowed it again. He knew where he was within 5 steps off the fence around window. Darkest grounds. Now there was a very low voiced red-skinned Joe. Closing and perhaps she has guessed. There are lights all through its lane. Yes, there must be grace there. Better give it up then. This was the voice of the stranger of the haunted house. Give it up just when I'm about to leave this country forever? Never! I tell you again, I don't want her money, but her husband was the judge who had me thrown into prison as a